Well, Eucla, that snuck up on me. Okie dokie. So at Eucla, it's again one of the biggest stops that you'll find. Fuel station, you've got the motor in here, you've also got a bar. Eucla does quite good food, and like I say, the fuel price is not too bad, all things considered. 20 something cents a litre cheaper than it is out at Nullarbor Roadhouse. Anyway, I've stopped here for a quick 30 seconds just to get this on video for you, and I'm about to push through. I'm not 100% sure where I'll be stopping next, but wherever it is, I'll take you along. Yeah, okie dokie. So also while you're here in Eucla, if you did want to have a look at some points of interest, just down around on the western side there is a dirt road. It takes you down through to the old Eucla telegraph station and Eucla wharf, or Eucla jetty. It's just down here. It's a couple of kilometres down the road, and there's a parking area down there. Let me have a look. I'll just have a quick peek down here. Yeah, it's well worth the look-see again.
After
particularly
1 kilometre, turn right.
It's well worth the drive down just to have a quick look around. Any vehicle can go down here. They've taken you all the way down to the old Eucla station, and it's like I say, it's well worth a look if you haven't been here before. So yeah, take 15 minutes out of your journey and take a drive down and have a look. So anyway, I'm going to, like I said before, do the lap around here, get back out onto the highway, and then keep heading west. So I'll see you when I'm on the highway. Cheers guys. Okay, back out on the highway and heading down Eucla Pass. So it's quite pretty coming down here. It is one place where you really do need to bear in mind there's a lot of kangaroos around here. So yeah, just take that one, take it a little bit easy through there. But yeah, very spectacular. Ocean out there on the left-hand side, or in the far left. It's probably maybe a kilometre as the crow flies, and then long straight stretches of road. So anyway, I'll take you along here for a short journey, and you can have a look at the countryside.
Living like this makes dying less scary. Digging up bones, better left buried. Kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. My head's full of memories that pine box won't shut. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. A nail in the coffin of what's left of us.
Just as we're travelling down here, we're just about to come to another RFDS landing strip. You'll see the sign just as we go around this corner here. So I'll leave you running until we get to that one. And yeah, like I say, there's 4 or 5 of these dotted throughout the journey.
Well, I got one foot in the grave somewhere.
Well, we'll count that as a fail. I give it a crack to try and take off, but I never got off the ground. Never mind. Okay guys, catch you soon. Alright guys, back again. A few kilometres out of Mundrabilla, which is the next stop on past Eucla. Just driving along. This is called the Hampton Tablelands that we're driving along now. We've got the mountain, or if you can call it a mountain range, let's call it a hill range for want of a better word, over there to our right hand side. Now traditionally this is wedge-tail eagle territory. It seems on this trip there's been a distinct lack of wildlife. I hope I don't jinx myself by saying that. So normally when you're driving along here there's a considerable amount of roadkill, and the wedge-tail eagles tend to feast on that roadkill. So if you are driving along and you see a wedgie sitting on a dead roo having a feed, just take it easy, because they tend to gorge themselves and they can't take off real quick. So they've got a tendency to sort of take off into the wind, which may or may not be heading directly at you as you're approaching. And it does take them a little bit of a while to gain elevation. So just be really aware of that when you're driving along. They are a magnificent bird. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that tip in there. Now Mundrabilla's not too far away. It's just down here on the left-hand side. So nothing much at Mundrabilla other than a service station. But you will see over here on the right-hand side, hopefully you can pick it out. There's a couple of tracks up and over that little, they call it a mountain, but you know, never mind. Anyway, I'm going to let you go here, because I might call in and get myself a drink. Catch you down the road. Yeah, hi guys. Just a quick update. I called into Mundrabilla. I grabbed a couple of muffins here. The muffins are excellent, pricey at $5 each, but excellent, really hot. And there's a big sign up here that there is no unleaded fuel available. There is diesel and gas, but apparently they had something go wrong with their unleaded tanks a while ago, and they won't have unleaded fuel available until they have their tanks replaced, and there is no ETA on that, so it could be any old time. Given the fact that it's now 2024 January, so I don't know whether they'll be back under full operation with unleaded fuel this year, apparently. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you the quick update on that. About to head off again now. I've had the muffin, and like I say, big thumbs up on their muffin. That was awesome. And we'll catch up. Probably next one will be going through Medora Pass. So anyway, I'll catch you then. Bye. Okay guys, just coming up to Medora now, so we'll be coming up Medora Pass. It's worth a look, so I'll take you for the journey along over the pass.
Somewhere between the edge of being alive and feeling dead. Living like this makes dying less scary. Digging up bones, better left buried. Kicking them stones in love's cemetery. Love cemetery.
I'll just back off and give this truck room to come in. Moving behind him, because I do want to turn up into the lookout up here, so I don't want to go steaming past him. Okay guys, here we are at the lookout at the top of Medora Pass. It's quite a spectacular view normally. As you can see, it's still overcast. I have been driving through bits and pieces of rain, and hopefully you can hear me over the wind. It's not that windy, but unfortunately what wind there is, I've been punching into it virtually the whole way. So that's made the fuel economy look like rubbish. It's gone from low 10s up to low 12s. So not doing anything different at all, other than the fact I'm running into wind. So anyway, that's Medora Pass lookout. Now as I make my way down here around the back of the lookout, there are camping spots. You can drive yourself down some of these tracks that are actually at the back down there. And there's some not too bad camping sites around.
After 250 meters, turn right.
We'll just let stupid finish what they're telling me, give me directions. Yeah, so there's a couple of decent sort of campsites around here that when it's hot are quite pleasant, because you do catch whatever breeze there is up here. So anyway, next stop is Cocklebiddy.
250 meters, turn right.
Yeah, okay guys, probably around about 15 kilometres out of Cocklebiddy, and if memory serves me correctly, the turn off to the Air Bird Observatory, and it does, there's a sign for it, there's down here by 1 kilometre. Again, the Air Bird Observatory is right down on the coast. Forgive the windscreen wipers going because it's raining. It's, I believe, 35 kilometres It is a four-wheel drive track. It's not difficult by any stretch of the imagination. Starts off as a gravel road. It's coming up just here on the left-hand side now. You'll see the sign there on the right, and there's the track there on the left. Starts off as a gravel road. Then when you go down the escarpment, you end up in sand, so you're on a sand track all the way down to the bird observatory. And again, I refer back to our Great Southern Land adventure from last year. We drove that track, took video footage of it in the trip, and then we proceeded to go down onto the beach and drive along the beach, up and over the headland and back down on the beach, going into Twilight Cove. Twilight Cove is a most spectacular campsite, absolutely brilliant. So well worth a watch if you've got a couple of minutes. Jump over, hunt it down, Great Southern Land, and have a look at the adventure down there through the bird observatory, through the museum, and on to Twilight Cove. Now, if you're not all that keen on driving up the beach and up and over the headland of Twilight Cove, and again, it's nothing extreme, but I wouldn't suggest you do it as a single car by any stretch, because that beach becomes non-existent in high tide. Just a trip down to the Bird Observatory itself is worth the effort. The Bird Observatory is in the old telegraph station down there. It's been renovated, and they've made it into a weather station / bird observatory that you can go and have a look around. There's a very small museum down there, and there's also the original well that Edward John Eyre dug. He found water there on his journey across in the 1800s by foot and by camel, and rested up there for around about a month because they found fresh water. So anyway, that's a little bit of a history lesson for you. Next stop is Cockabiddy. Cheers, guys. Yeah, hi guys, back again. We're through Cockabiddy now and heading towards Kaiguna. Just wanted to elaborate a little bit on what I was saying about Cockabiddy. Just prior to coming into Cockabiddy, there was the turn off to the air telegraph station, which I said you could go down, check out this telegraph station, hit the beach, and then head west to head up to Twilight Cove. There is actually another track down to Twilight Cove behind the Cockabiddy Roadhouse, so I'm fully aware of that for anyone that's actually done it. I just do like to go down the Bird Observatory track. It's kind of killing two birds with one stone. That way you go through the Bird Observatory, get to see that, then take a drive up the beach over the headland and up into Twilight Cove, which is a magnificent camping spot. I was also mentioning the caves just west of Cockabiddy. Now, 5 kilometres west of Cockabiddy, there is a turn off to Murra El Elvin Cave. It's only 5 kilometres off the road to the cave, so that's nice and easy to get to, doesn't take very long at all. The more extensive cave system is Cockabiddy Caves, which is 11 kilometres west of Cockabiddy, but that is also 11 kilometres off the road. So again, it's not difficult to get to. It just takes a little bit more time getting the 11 kilometres out to the caves, and then the 11 kilometres back. Now, Cockabiddy Caves has got a number of caves in and around that area, one of which an Australian team holds the world record for the longest subterranean underwater cave dive. Now, I'm not sure of the gentleman's name, but those of you that remember the cave rescue from the children in Thailand a few years ago, the Australian fellow that was involved in that is the gentleman that holds the record for the subterranean cave dive out here at Cockabiddy. Anyway, so that's a little bit of garb on that. Still can't seem to shake this rain, driving through overcast conditions, which is no dramas, but it tends to be raining on and off, so still a little bit undecided on whether I'll be camping at Newman Rocks. That's the target, but it's not looking too good up in front of us. So anyway, we'll see what happens when we get there. I can always bail out and stay at the accommodation that they have at Baladonia. But anyway, we'll see what happens when we get there. Next port of call is Kaiguna, and just a couple of kilometres west from Kaiguna is the Kaiguna blowhole. It's hardly spectacular, but seeing as though it's only 10 metres off the road, it's just one of those things where you pop in, have a look, tick it off the list to say that you've seen it, and then carry on. So anyway, I suppose I'll come back and join you again just as I'm coming into Kaiguna. Catch you guys. Well, I've been on 90 miles straight for about 89 miles, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a journey on this last kilometre or so before I get to the end of 90 miles straight, and I'll show you the corner. It's not necessarily a big corner, but it's a corner all the same. So yeah, 146.6 kilometres of dead straight road, and here we come up to the end of it. Notice there's someone stopped at the other side there taking the obligatory photograph. Woohoo! A bend in the road. Like I say, it's not the biggest corner in the world, but it was a corner. On the bright side, it seems as though I've actually driven through all of the rain. The sun's starting to come out, there's only a few patchy clouds. So I've decided not to take the soft option, but to make my way through to Newman Rock and camp the night. So when I get down towards Newman Rock, I did promise you that I'd drive into one of the parking bays and show you where to park, or show you that most of them had camping sites behind them. Newman Rock is very similar to that. It's just a little exit off the road, so I'll show you that when I get there, and I might even take the opportunity to show you my camping setup that I've been basically living in for the last 3.5 weeks. So anyway, 82 kilometres before I get to the turn off to Newman Rock, so I will catch up with you closer to that turn. Okay guys, just coming into Baladonia now, and just a couple of things about Baladonia. First cab off the rank, Baladonia is probably the first major stop on the air highway once you leave Norseman. It's got everything that you need, overnight accommodation, and all the rest of it. Obviously fuel and food. The food there's pretty good. But directly opposite Baladonia Roadhouse is the Baladonia track. Now there's conjecture as to whether it's closed or whether it isn't. There is a road closed sign on it, but if you research or ask anyone, particularly at Baladonia Roadhouse, the track is open. The reason that they've got it closed is that there's a little bit of toing and froing between the councils as to who's responsible for maintaining it, but that's beside the point. Anyway, Baladonia track, which is coming up on our left-hand side because the roadhouse is on our right, 75 kilometres, takes you down through Mount Ragged, down to Fisheries Road, and then on to Cape Barrett. You can also access down to Esperance along Fisheries Road. The track was just there on the left-hand side. Anyway, also at Baladonia Roadhouse, this is where Skylab, or parts of Skylab, landed that crashed way back 50, 60 years ago now, not exactly sure when, but they do have a small museum at Baladonia Roadhouse featuring bits and pieces from Skylab, and also the Red X trials. If anyone's a bit of a petrol head from back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, early 80s, the Red X rallies, car trials used to come down this way a fair bit. So they've got some memorabilia for that there as well. So worth a visit if you've never been there before. Absolutely pull in, only takes 5 minutes to have a look through. Once you've seen it once, there's no real need to go and see it again. It's interesting, but it's not something that would bring you back time and time again to have a look at. But like I say, if you fancied stopping and having a feed or just stretching your legs, it's well worth having a look at there. And I guess the next stop realistically along here, other than me stopping at Newman Rocks for the night, is the end of the air highway at Norseman. Around about 190 something kilometres from Norseman, which is the end of the air highway, and clearly I'll be going through that with you tomorrow. Sorry, that was just a two-way. But yeah, my next stop is Newman Rocks, 47 kilometres before I turn off, and I'm now driving through part of the Greater Western Woodlands, which takes in virtually the entire southeast area down through here. Anyway, I will sign off now to save boring you ad infinitum, and I'll see you at the turn off to Newman's Rocks in around about half an hour. Catch ya. Okay guys, so 1.5 kilometres before I turn off up towards Newman Rock, where I'm going to camp tonight, and undoubtedly you'll hear Fred tell me when to turn, and I call my GPS Fred for flipping ridiculous electronic device.
After 1 kilometre, turn right.
Okay, so right on cue, there's Fred. So yeah, look, I just thought I'd show you on the way in. We're 50 kilometres west of Baladonia, if anyone's looking for it, but like I say, this is on everyone's GPS.
After 500 metres, turn right.
Yeah, it's on everyone's GPS, it's on Google Maps, it's on everything, so you really can't go wrong.
Now turn right.
And we turn right into here. It's even signposted. Look at that, Newman Rocks. Okay, so now we're 1 kilometre down this
After
gravel road.
200 metres, turn right.
Just turn Fred off so it stops telling me what to do every 30 seconds. It's like my wife nags. Although I no longer have my wife, but you know, you get that. Okie dokie, so we just follow it around. You can pretty much camp anywhere here. I tend to like to get a little bit further back off the road. The further off the road, the less road noise you get. So realistically, once you're more than a couple of 100 metres off the road, you can't hear much. There's only trucks running through of a night time. You don't get too many normal cars run through. Looks like they've had a little bit of rain up here. Okie dokie, so we're almost there. We just have a look around for a suitable campsite. Looks like there's one coming up here on the right hand side that'll do the job just nicely. Yep, look, it's even got a rubbish bin. Happy days are here again. Okie dokie, so I'm going to go and find myself somewhere to park, and then we'll work something out. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Alrighty, I'm here and I'm not alone. Okay, it's quite a nice area, as I said before. There's someone parked up over there, and there's someone else parked up a couple of 100 metres further down. Yeah, the views aren't too bad. Camping area is quite nice, and they even have picnic table, bins. It's kind of a barbecue, but I don't know that I'd fancy using it. And typical, people have had their own ground fires. They've got a barbecue area there where they could have a fire in, but they'll build a fire pit there, and they've built another one there, and they've built another one just over there in between the bushes. But hey, you get that. Anyway, I'm just about to set up camp. I will flick this on and I will show you my very, very basic setup. Anyone that's watched a few of our videos before will know that I'm a minimalist. and there's absolutely no need to set up a Taj Mahal when you're here for a couple of hours, because I'll be up first thing in the morning and heading on my way home. So anyway, I will speak to you very shortly once I'm set up. Cheers guys. Okay guys, like I said, fairly minimalistic setup, and realistically I took my time, 10 minutes, maybe 12 tops. Simple fact of the matter is there's the stretcher with the swag sitting on it, Dachi Dirty D 900. I only have a ground sheet down just enough so I can get in and out of the swag. There's no point pegging everything down. It's not overly windy here at the moment. I tend to live out of the back of the car, and excuse the mess. It's relatively, or it's as tidy as you can get it. I like to have a place for everything and everything in its place. Drawers in there, which is, hang on, I'll try and do this one-handed. Yeah. Okay, so basically that's the pantry with all of the bits and pieces that I have in here. It doesn't get too much dust in, but I've got a couple of towels right at the back here that stops any dust from getting in. I've been away for 3 weeks, so you can see that's relatively clean. I like to cook out of the back of the vehicle, that way if it is a little bit windy we're all good. I've got a couple of storage boxes, nibblies in that one up there, recovery gear in the top box, and just other assorted sundries, you know, some tools, spare oil filter, fuel filter, air filter, some belts, hoses and the like in case they're required. Rubbish bin in the corner, carrying a 20 litre jerry can. This thing's only got a 75 litre tank. Then I just run the simple table. Okay, in there is all of my cooking gear, plates, cups, spoons, knives, forks, cooking oil, you know, all of the normal bits and pieces. Always carry 10 litres of drinking water. I do carry other water with me that's you know, that you can use for washing up and bits and pieces, but there's 10 litres of drinking water. Clearly my chair, love that one, it's nice and comfy. And when we come around, I'll just show you real quick, like inside the car. Okay, this side, and yes, it's King's gear, but don't fret. Okay, this one here I just use as a freezer. The other one on the other side is the fridge. Lithium battery setup at the back there, all slimline, 100 amp hour with all of the bells and whistles. Anyway, that's just a real brief walk around of how I've lived for the last 3.5 weeks, and pretty much how I live whenever I'm away with Paul and the guys on our trips. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to sit down and have a couple of drinks now and have a good night, and I'll see you all in the morning. Cheers guys, see you. Well, good morning guys. Last night, as I mentioned, I stayed at Newman Rocks. I'd been fighting the weather all day, but it tended to clear up, so made camp, had an early dinner, and basically I was in bed by about 9 o'clock. It was just about to start to rain again, so I got a little bit of rain overnight, which is no big deal. Got up this morning, very overcast, but managed to be able to pack up in the dry, which was good. So now I'm on the final leg of the journey on the air highway, still through the Greater Western Woodlands, about 130 kilometres out of Norseman, which is the end or the beginning of the air highway, depending on what direction you're heading. Clearly it's the end for me because I'm heading home, I'm heading west. So anyway, I'll fill you in on what the actual full details of the trip were when I get into Norseman, and I'll show you coming into Norseman, and we'll just take it from there. Cheers guys, I'll see you down the road. Just rolling into Norseman now, so I'll take you on this final minute of the journey across the air highway. I'll video rolling into the servo, and then I'll fill up with fuel, grab a bite to eat, and do a bit of a sign off for you. So it has been quite an enjoyable journey, but anyway, I'm just going to give you this last minute just having a look at the road into Norseman. Okay guys, there's the BP servo that signifies the end of the air highway heading west, so I'm just going to pull in here. See you soon. Yeah, hi guys. Well, I was going to come and sort of sign off after I filled up with fuel at Norseman service station, but had a couple of technical difficulties, so I thought I'd get those sorted out, finish the journey. I'm clearly home. I'll pan around for you here and show you where out the front of my garage, which is where my car lives, because I can't get it into the garage with the other vehicles in there. But anyway, that aside, I just wanted to take a couple of seconds to say thank you very much if you've made it this far through the video, and also hopefully, if you have made it this far through the video, you can do everyone a big favor and hit that subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing, and really does help or helps Paul make further content. This was my very first go at doing any filming and making content, so hopefully I've stumbled through enough to keep your interest. I also hope that we've answered a couple of the questions that some of our subscribers have had about that journey across the air highway, or across the Nullarbor as people refer to it as. Look, it was something very different. I'm not sure exactly how I captured it or how it's come across, but Paul, you can leave this bit in, or you can take it out, whichever way you want. Editing can be a wonderful thing and can make up for a lot of shortcomings. So anyway, long and the short of it, I was away for a number of weeks, and I used the journey across the air highway on the way home that I filmed for you viewers as the trip home. It wasn't necessarily a four-wheel drive trip or anything along those lines. That was my trip home because I'd been away for a number of weeks, and the whole point is that is one of the iconic drives in Australia. Everyone talks about it. A lot of people have done it, a lot of people haven't done it. People that haven't done it tend to be worried about, will I have enough fuel? Do I need to take extra fuel? Do I need to take anything, you know, to keep yourself going? Realistically, the amount of people that are out there on the air highway these days is phenomenal. It's not like it was even back 10 years ago. You could drive for a half an hour and not see anyone. These days, if you drive for any more than 2 or 3 minutes and not see someone, there's something wrong. You've probably got a maximum of 250, 270 kilometers between fuel stops. All of the fuel stops, clearly fuel, food, water, you name it, they're all there. There's accommodation, whatever you need. The only thing that you really do need to be totally self-sufficient with is water that you would use for, like if you're in a caravan or a camper trailer, or myself, for argument's sake, I just took a 20-litre jerry can of water that you use for washing up, washing yourself down and stuff like that. Drinking water, not a problem. You can pick up bottled water at any of the service stations. You just can't really fill up with, like with normal water. So other than that, you just need a reliable car that's going to be able to do the kilometres. It's quite an easy drive. This trip was a little different than most, particularly at this time of year. It was Christmas time coming across, or just after Christmas, and it was quite cool. and it was wet. Very rarely does that happen, but you do need to be prepared for temperature and weather anywhere between. Well, you can get anything. I'm not going to say between. We've been out there when it's been 45 degrees, and we've been out there when it's been 5 degrees. So you just do need to be prepared. I'll be perfectly honest, I was away for 4 weeks. When I was coming back across, and it was quite cool of an evening, I didn't have a pair of tracksuit pants at all. So suffered through with shorts on, but other than that, I was wearing jackets and so forth of a night time to keep myself warm, because it was quite cool. Anyway, enough of me rabbiting on. I will take this opportunity to thank all of our subscribers and also Patreons. You are the guys that help us create this content. You are the guys that help us keep going. We do a majority of our trips because we want to, and we film them and we bring you along on the journey. And we've had some really positive feedback from all of you guys about what you'd like to see us to do, how we've performed on everything that goes with it. So if you fancy, please leave a comment below. That would be sensational. Let us know if you want us to continue doing little different things such as this. This is a totally out of left field type trip that I put on. And yeah, if you liked it, let us know. If you didn't like it, let us know. Anyway, I will sign off at that. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you did enjoy the content, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.